Hi, this is Mark from Avalon Test Equipment, and today we're going to cover the Narda SignalShark. This is one of the coolest new analyzers available in the RF world. It is an 8 kHz to 8 GHz spectrum analyzer, real-time spectrum analyzer, IQ analyzer, and direction finder. One of the big benefits here is you can dial it into exactly what you need. With having 40 MHz real-time bandwidth, we can see almost any signal that is coming out and being used in wireless communications today. One of the biggest features that we have here is the ability to attach any kind of antenna that Narda makes with it. We can easily pop these on and off, and we can see that the EEPROM stored internally is actually retained, and all of your losses and everything are handled for you. So with that second cable connected, this thing just works immediately right out of the box, no extra calibrations required. This is an incredibly powerful tool that you would be paying way more for from any other vendor. You can create any of your own Python scripts or third-party softwares that automatically synchronize with this. In fact, it even comes with a whole suite of Python scripts that you can run natively right out of the box. And it will do things like build reports for you or trigger on an event. Anything you can really think up in the maker world type space can be done using these Python scripts. It's really what your imagination limits it to. By also having the IQ analysis features on here, we can do time-gated testing. And when we were to switch to something like that, we can see our real-time spectrum. We can then dial into exactly what we want to see, maybe a problem area from a cell phone tower. We can lock in our GPS to an ultra-precise signal, pulse per second, that will synchronize with the tower, and we can look into the individual packets and sub-packets in uplink or downlink. That is an incredibly strong feature for being included with the device. Where this device really shines is in RF interference analysis. If you have RF interference in your communications network and you need to find the source of that, we can utilize this with its combined antennas to hunt this down to within 1 meter. We can upload an open maps cutout directly using one of the Narda tools that's provided for free. And we can then do drive tests with the included ADFA antenna, or we can even do bearing tests and horizontal scan tests with things like this Yagi antenna, which is very directional. From there, we can continue around the area and slowly but surely dial in a heat map and continue to isolate and isolate until we have the exact source found. I have used this device in the field, and what would take weeks using some other vendors' test equipment took us a few hours. The reason this device is so effective is its incredibly low noise floor. When we're looking for signals, they're just there. Other times we often have to turn on preamps and change our amplitude settings. A lot of playing around with the features in order to get what we want to see. With this, I was able to see everything right away because my noise floor is at -162. That is beyond anything else available in a portable form factor. The other benefits here are the other form factors of the device. This is the one you would use in the field. We also sell the rack mount version, and we have outdoor versions that can be mounted on masts and can be utilized on remote locations. By placing something like the outdoor units on 3 successive hilltops, we could use that to triangulate the source of a signal anywhere inside of that surrounding valley. By synchronizing several of these together, we can find problems incredibly quickly. We could synchronize outdoor units and the portable unit all at the same time using something even as simple as a team viewer, or we can continue with the full networked integration. There are also third-party softwares fully set up to work with this device. They allow for protocol demodulation in real time. So if you want to understand exactly what you're seeing on a 5G signal, for instance, you could synchronize your results from here with that software, which can be stored on this device as well, being as it's Windows 10, and do full analysis in the field. Narda also just released a new software suite for the SignalShark that allows it to take EMF readings. You can take the SRM antennas that you would use with a model like the SRM 3006 and plug it directly in with the new software edition, and it will run just like an SRM 3006. That is an incredibly powerful new feature, turning this into a 5-use device. You can utilize the exact same antennas as before from the SRM series, or you can use the new 5G antennas designed for this. There's new attachments coming out every few months, it seems, including things to allow it to go to much higher frequencies for other 5G testing. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the different antennas this device comes with in the kit. Right here we have the 9 kHz to 30 MHz loop antenna. This is very good for a lot of magnetic field type work, very, very powerful in that range. Then we can move on to our first directional antenna, and this one's 30 meg to 250 megahertz. From that point, we get into the more directional antennas, and this one right here is 200 megahertz to 500 megahertz. Again, these are all for very specific applications where you're looking for something probably emanating from a device. Beyond that, we have our Yagi antenna. This guy is 400 megahertz to 6 gigahertz, okay? This is incredibly directional, but because we're using this same handle for all of these, we can do things like change the polarization depending on exactly what you want to do with it. That applies to all of these antennas. And then at the very end, we also have a universal adapter that allows us to attach to any antenna we would like. It will not fully remove all of the losses in the antenna and account for that, but the losses in the cable are still removed.